It wasn't funny. It wasn't funny. It was kind of sad to see Biden fall today. Did you see it? Did you happen to see it? There's some mean people out there who they take their politics so to heart. They're so rude that they laugh at that. I don't think there's anything funny about him, about Joe Biden falling. I found none of it funny. I found none of it even remotely funny or any of that stuff. But I will tell you a couple of things which is important. What is critical to note, and this is what I'm trying to explain to you, is how it will bear out later on, where this is going and where it happens to be going. Joe Biden cannot be the Democratic nominee in 2024. It just cannot. He cannot. There's no way. Hillary Clinton was kind of sending out little messages because she's just a stooge for these people. But he cannot. You know it. I know it. We all know it. There's no way around it. He can't do it. So what did they do? One part of me says Democrats don't care what the rules are. Democrats don't care at all about how things work. They really don't. They don't care. They don't. What would make sense to you, they don't care about. Who would ever pick Carmelita Harris as the vice president? Who? With all of the bright and smart and very brilliant people, who in their right mind would ever do that? Who would be responsible for it? Who possibly could do that? Who? How would this work out? How does this end up? That's what I want to know. Who would possibly say, this is the person that we want? This is the person that we want. This is the one. This is it. She is just terrific. Wonderful. Excellent. She's perfect. She's exactly what we want. How does it even work? How would that even work at all? We don't know this. See, that's the beautiful thing about this. We don't know, but it does. But what I think is going to happen and what's critical to note is to see where this moves, how this moves, and how this becomes part of this, how it becomes part of this movement to get him out, to bring Gavin Newsom in. And I'm hearing from people, not that this is my idea, it's not that far-fetched, but it's sort of okay. Gretchen Whitmer. Did you hear this? Gretchen Whitmer. That she might be the one. She might be, she's okay. Gretchen Whitmer. Did you hear this? Gretchen Whitmer might be. So, we'll see. What's critical to note and what's fascinating to see is how this plays. Now, what you're going to see is you're going to be hearing people start to say things about Joe Biden such as follows. He will say later on, he will either fall. It won't be, I hope it's not serious, obviously. He'll get COVID again. Something will happen. Something that will sideline him. He will say, I owe it more to my family, and I owe it to the rest of the American people. And it's time for me to step down. It's time for me to step down and time for me to move out of this configuration. I have to turn it over to someone else. Someone else who is better able to do it, somebody else. Somebody who is able to handle this, someone who is better equipped, better adept, better okay. So he moves. That means, and he cannot leave because he cannot step down. Remember, July, he's got a year. He's got over a year until the DNC, until they figure out what they're going to do. But this is where they're heading. But here's what happens. In the meantime, what do we do with Bobby Kennedy? Bobby Kennedy Jr., dear God. Bobby Kennedy Jr. This is the greatest thing. I just did a brand new video on that. I entreat, I ask you to please see the new video. It's wonderful. On Bobby Kennedy Jr. And he is Gavin's nightmare. And it's so beautifully delicious and glorious and wonderful. I cannot say enough to you. It is beyond anything I've ever seen. Now, I have talked about this. And by the way, today on the other, if you watch the other videos, we have something called the Soros derangement syndrome. I explain it, which is a different thing because I'm noticing now more and more, by the way, these are additional topics. I'm seeing more and more people talking about George Soros or Soros derangement syndrome in ways that I find absolutely beyond fascinating. The Soros derangement syndrome, it's the wildest thing you've ever seen. The Soros, you mention his name and they go crazy. Plus, I had a little contest, a vote for the woke icon, the woke sweetheart, the woke queen. Who would it be, Sandy Cortez or Greta Thunberg? My vote, Greta Thunberg. Hands down, she is like nothing else. Greta Thunberg was it. Then, I did a piece which I wanted you to be aware of and I wanted to bring to your attention. That's called Nobody Talks About GMOs Anymore. Why is that? Whatever happened? Why do we not care anymore about this extremely critical subject? It's beyond fascinating. Remember years ago, it was one of those topics people would ask me when I was doing TV. They say, are you going to talk about this again? Yes. Why are you talking about this? What do you care about? Who cares about GMOs? What is it? What is a GMO? What even is it? Nobody even knew. Nobody knew. Nobody cared. It's fascinating. Beyond fascinating. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I don't even know how to tell you anymore how fascinating all of this stuff is. It is beyond fascinating. It is beyond that. So right now we're in the position, here we are, of watching this thing. Let me give you some other statistics which I wanted to bring to your attention and bring you up to speed as far as how protean and volatile and how crazy these things can be as they develop. Number one, in 1975, regarding the Democratic National Convention, at one point, I think right around this time roughly, but at one point, Hubert Humphrey had 30 points. George Wallace, 20. George Wallace, not the comedian, but the ex-governor of Alabama, who later on was a running mate with Curtis LeMay. Jimmy Carter had less than 5%. Jimmy Carter. Think about that. In 2008, Hillary Clinton was at 48 points leading up to the convention. Obama, 21. That changed. 2007, Rudy Giuliani, 24 points to John McCain's 17. My friends, you don't know what is going on. It is anybody's game at this particular point. So that is something to watch. I'm also keeping an eye on, and you're watching, Donald Trump acting more like the damn fool. Now, I know a lot of people don't care about that, and a lot of people don't think about that, and a lot of people don't even worry one way or the other. But I've got to tell you something right now. There is something so incredibly frightening about how Donald Trump is acting. And I'm sorry to say that, and I'm sorry to bring this to your attention, but it's true. He's acting like a bit of a fool. And I'm sorry to say that. I'm sorry to bring this to your attention, but it is the truth. Sorry. But it's true. And I don't know what it is about it specifically, what it is, why he's doing this. I don't understand it. Is it because I don't know what it is. Is it because he's just being Donald Trump? I don't know. But it is something that we're going to keep an eye on. It's something that I want to watch. It's something that I want you to focus on as well. So we have a lot of things going on. A lot of things. And it's most fascinating. Most incredibly fascinating. And I want to bring that to your attention and your focus as well. So, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, it's been an incredibly interesting day today. I want to see how they're going to play the Joe Biden thing. I don't like the jokes about this. And I wanted to tell you, if you're of any interest in this, have you noticed the tremendous changes that are apparently afoot at Fox News? Weekends are changing. I found out someone named Kennedy is on her way out. Kennedy, her show is no more. I think they're bringing the best of Larry. I don't know who the hell they're bringing. This Steve Hilton or something on the weekend. He's out. Very interesting. What is happening there? I know you're interested. And where is Tucker Carlson? Where? What is happening? Are they going to run out the clock on that? It's very interesting. I've seen this. I told you before, and I know how these people think. They're very, very frightening in terms of what they do and how they run out certain things. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's what we're looking at. So we hope Joe Biden does well. But remember, watch how the movement to remove him takes place. Watch the statements. Watch how he says, well, and then he's going to do something very, very gallant. He says, I just think I always promise myself that if I cannot give the best I can, and by the way, this as they heat up the Hunter case and against him as well. Don't forget, that's not going anywhere at all. That's not going anywhere at all. He's got to be very careful about that. And remember the Durham case? Remember the Durham investigation? Nothing. As predicted, absolutely nothing. But still, watch what happens. So, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to see how that works. I don't really have anything more for this evening. Anybody have any thoughts, any particular ideas? I don't want to belabor the point. I don't want to sit there and ramble if I'm not. I think I've talked about it. Today's been the most fascinating day. It's about 78 degrees today, and I feel it's very hot. Very hot. Very hot. Please watch the seemingly endless, the seemingly interminable, the seemingly unbelievable stories that are available anent and regarding the world of AGI and artificial intelligence. Just Max, I'm watching video, and my mind is absolutely captivated by that. What is possible? What is happening? Things that we used to talk about, transhumanism, and not only that, the brain itself, and what is going on regarding AI and AGI, because remember, you can't turn this thing down. So anyway, we're going to be talking about that. I hope everybody's well on this great Thursday evening. You have a wonderful and a great day. Thank you so much. Don't forget to follow Mrs. L at Lynn's Warriors, and also follow her on Twitter at Lynn's_Warriors, and me as well at Lionel Media. All right, dear friends, have a great and a glorious day. Have a wonderful evening. Remember, learn something new tonight. Pull out the old YouTube and learn something new. Learn something new. That's what you should do. Be an autodidact, okay? Our good friend, the Honeyman, says, anything new on the Russian explosion over Putin's house? Nothing that I would believe. And by the way, where is Gonzalo Lira? If you're interested in that, where did this man go? What have they done? In any event, Mary Fernandez, Catherine O., Aunt Massey, Christos Stavru, Dick Long, Mary Fernandez, thank you so much. Have a great and a glorious day. See you tomorrow morning, 7 a.m. 8 a.m. Not 7. 8 a.m. tomorrow morning Eastern Time. Until then, remember, the monkey's dead. The show's over. Sue ya. Dead.